we're solving equations, which means we've got enough information to find out what a variable or unknown is. So if we have a look at this first question here, we have x plus 5 equals 12. So that's saying that some now known number plus 5 equals 12, and we want to figure out what plus 5 equals 12. Now, you might just know the answer to that. Okay, you might just think, oh, I know it's 7. Right? But what I want you to do here is to get into the practice of doing it the right way, because otherwise you're going to find it very tricky to answer the harder questions like this one, the fourth question down here. So try and use the same method on the simpler questions. That will make the harder questions easier later. So let's have a look at the first question. First thing is use a paper and pen and do write the question down. And you're going to be doing inverse operations. You're trying to get x by itself. When we're finding x, you're trying to get x by itself. Okay, if it's a different letter, by all means you want to get that different letter by itself. So at the moment you've got x and it's got 5 added to it. We're going to do the inverse operation of adding 5, which is taking away 5. So we're going to take 5 away from both sides. Now I'm going to write it underneath here, and then on the next line down, so x plus 5 take away 5 just leaves us with x. I'm going to put the equal sign in line with the one above. And we're going to take away 5 from the other side as well. So I'm going to write take away 5 on this side as well, because we have to do the same operation to both sides. So 12 take away 5 leaves us with 7. And there's our answer. So we did the same operation to both sides to get x by itself. And the operation we do is the inverse of the one we're looking at. So we had a positive 5, so we took away 5. Because 5 minus 5 equals 0. That's what we wanted to do. Because we did it to one side, we had to do it to the other side as well. Let's look at the next question. So here we have 4x. We want to be left with just 1x. So we need to divide. Here, x has been multiplied by 4. We need to do the reverse of that, which is to divide by 4. So we're going to be dividing this side by 4. And if we do that to one side, we need to do the same thing to the other side as well. So let's divide both sides by 4. 4x divided by 4, that just leaves us with x, which is what we're after. And 20 divided by 4 gives us 5. But this is a negative 20, so we're going to have negative 5. And that's our answer. Now, with all of these questions, it's a good idea to actually go back to them and substitute in the value you get for x into the original equation to see if it still works. So if we have a look at this first question, we've got x plus 5 equals 12. Let's substitute in the value of 7. So let's just check. 7 plus 5. Does that equal 12? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It does. Okay? So we know that the value of x is 7. Let's try the same thing again here. So this time we've got 4 times negative 5. I'm going to put it in brackets. 4 times negative 5. What is 4 times 5? 5, 10, 15, 20. Negative 20, which is correct. Okay, so this is a way of checking that we're correct with our calculations. Let's have a look at the next one. Getting a bit more tricky now. There's 2 operations, and we need to figure out which operation to deal with first. If you've got a number by itself, which isn't attached to the variable, it's best usually to get rid of that number first. So we want to get rid of that number from this side. We've got a positive 28. To get rid of that, yeah, so we can imagine that as a positive 28. We're going to have to take away 28 to make it equal 0 on that side. If we take 28 away from that side, we have to take 28 away from the other side as well. So we get negative 12x left on the left, and 38 minus 28 leaves us with 4 on the right. So on the left here we have negative 12x, and we need to get just a single positive x instead. So we're going to divide that. The opposite of multiplying is divide. We're going to divide that by negative 12. And that's going to leave us, and so if we do that to one side, we're going to have to do the same to the other side as well. So we're going to divide the other side by negative 12 as well. And let's have a look at what we get. So we're going to be left with just our positive x on the left, which is what we're after. And here we've got 4. Let's just do 4 divided by 12. So 4 divided by 12, 4, 8, 12. That's a third. 4 divided by 12 is a third, but it's going to be a negative third because we're dividing by negative 12. And there's our answer, so negative 1/3. Again, we can substitute in to make sure it actually works. So let's try 28 minus 12 lots of negative a third. Oh, that should be a third. Let's see what that equals. That's 28 minus, so 12 over 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, that's 4, but negative, so we're going to end up adding two negatives multiplied to give you a positive. 28 plus 4 gives me 32. So that is correct. Our answer was indeed x equals minus a third. Last one. Now we've got x on both sides. What we want to do is we want to collect them together on one side. Usually I try and make the x positive, but I don't have to. I'm not going to show all my working this time. So this time, I've got negative 3x here. I want to take it away from that side. So I want to add 3x to that side to make it into 0 on that side. If we're adding 3x to the left side, we're going to add it to the right side as well. So that 5x here is going to become 8x. And we've got no x's left on that side. So we've got minus 2 equals 22, add 8x. I want to get the 8x by itself, so we're going to have to deal with this 22 next. We're going to have to take it away from that side. So we're going to take it away from both sides, which gives us negative 24 equals 8x. Now we're going to divide both sides by 8. Leaves us with x. 24 divided by 8 is 3, negative 3. So here x equals negative 3. So there are the questions that I've done, and you've got some similar questions to do here. Pause the video, give them a go. Hope they went well. Let's go through the solutions for these. So here we're going to add 6 to both sides and we get x equals 21. Here we're going to do the opposite of dividing by 5, which is multiplying by 5. So we're multiplying both sides by 5, which gives us x equals 40. Let's take away 28 from both sides. We've got positive 28. We're going to take it away from both sides. So 10 minus 28 gives us minus 18. Now both are negative, so I'm just going to remove those negative signs. We get 12x equals 18. And then for x, we're going to divide both sides by 12. So x equals 18 divided by 12. And then we take out the common factor here. So that's the same as 3 over 2, or 1.5. So let's write x equals, I'm going to put it in decimal here, x equals 1.5. And for the final one, again, we want to collect the x's on one side here. Part of the hard part with these questions is to figure out what to do first. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try and I'm going to collect the x's on the right-hand side here, but you could choose to do it on the other side as well. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So let's just start by doing that. So x over 3, add that 6 to the 9. That gives me 15 equals 3x. What am I going to do next? Let's multiply everything by 3, so I don't have x divided by 3. I have to multiply that 15 by 3 as well. And I have to multiply the whole of the other side by 3. So I've multiplied each of these, everything by 3. And now what I'm going to do is I want to get the x's onto the right-hand side. So I'm going to take away an x from this side, and I'm going to take away an x from that side. So 45 equals 8x, or x equals 8 over 45. And we can't simplify that any further. OK, and these are the questions for you to do. Good luck.